Now to an Idaho police officer's controversial TikTok video getting a lot of attention online all around the world. The premise, mocking a tweet from NBA star LeBron James. And it comes at a time when shootings involving police are top of mind all across the country.
This morning's story comes from Breitbart.com. The Idaho deputy marshal who lost his job after mocking NBA star LeBron James in a TikTok video was offered a position with the Pinal County Sheriff's Office during a recent television interview. Nate Sylvester, a former police officer with the Bellevue Marshal's Office in Idaho, was fired after the video made its rounds on social media platforms. During a recent Newsmax interview, Sylvester spoke about losing his job after posting the clip online, saying he policed a very liberal area, the city of Bellevue, Idaho.
Shira, a lot of people are wondering, because it has been a lightning rod issue, does he regret making this video at this point in time?
Well, Mark, Nate Sylvester is his name. He's a deputy marshal in Blaine County, and I asked him that very question just a short time ago, and he tells me no. He says he simply took what many others are thinking and feeling and put it into what he says is a funny 60-second video. But he wants to be clear, his comments don't reflect the views of the Bellevue Marshal's Office or the city.
Dispatch, I've arrived at that disturbance. We can have LeBron call my cell phone right away, please. Thank you. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. No, can you put the knife down, please, sir? Sir, no, sir, don't stab it. No, stop stabbing. Stop. Oh, hold on. It's LeBron. LeBron, hey, yeah, it's me again. Listen, I'm out here at this disturbance call, and there's a guy trying to stab another guy with a knife. What do you think I should do? Why does that matter? Okay, well, they're both black. One guy's trying to stab another guy with a knife. Deadly force is completely justified. Uh-huh. I see. So you don't care if a black person kills another black person, but you do care if a white cop kills a black person, even if he's doing it to save the life of another black person? I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but then again, you are really good at basketball, so I guess I'll take your word for it. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. Thanks, LeBron. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. What? Nothing. I gotta go. Sorry, guys. You're on your own. Good luck.
Sylvester explained the mayor and city council members are registered Democrats, and they buy into this radicalism that's being pushed by the left, and especially the anti-police narrative. They're buying into it totally. And so when LeBron James' video went viral, they weren't happy about it.
The basketball star later deleted his tweet, but not before sparking a huge response, especially among people like Nate in the law enforcement community.
I feel like it's important with today's atmosphere, with the sort of the disconnect between law enforcement and the public. It's important that law enforcement officers can speak their mind to the general public and let them know that, hey, we're not the bad guys here. We're out here trying to do the right thing. We're normal, everyday, average human beings, just like you are.
Moments later, Sheriff Mark Lamb of Pinal County, Arizona, says too many agencies across this country are afraid of the cancel culture. They're afraid to let their people speak truth. We respect the First Amendment, even with our employees. He added, we're hiring, Nate. Come on down. We respect police in Arizona, especially in Pinal County. We're always looking for guys who aren't afraid to go out and do their job. It took guts what Nate did.
And when something like this happens, when an incident like the Columbus, Ohio incident happens, and somebody like LeBron James tweets out something dangerous and inflammatory like he did, we don't appreciate it.
Breitbart News said James was attacked by many, including Sylvester, for posting a photo of a white cop with the caption, "You're next." The NBA star soon deleted the image and gave a non-apology for having posted it. Bellevue Mayor Ned Burns claimed Sylvester was fired over several violations of department policy, not just for the video. However, Sylvester disagreed and said no previous violations of policy were given a lot of notice until the video was shared. Sylvester explains, none of my other videos that depicted me in uniform involving body camera footage, none of those mattered. They didn't care about those. It wasn't until my LeBron James TikTok struck a political nerve that they started to pay attention and complain about it and came up with the forms of discipline.
And Sylvester added, if people didn't approve of the video because he was in uniform at the time, he says, well, they're allowed to take breaks, and that's what he was doing when he made that video. So far, he says most of the response to the video has been positive, and for every person who has contacted him sharing their disapproval or distrust, he says there have been 100 others who have said they appreciate it.
And so I want to know what you guys think in the description box below, but let's go through our timeline real quick, and I will put a link to an editorial I did on a cop in Columbus, Ohio, as well as the other stuff we've gone over today. But what happens is a cop in Columbus, Ohio responds to a call. It was the Ma'Khia Bryant shooting. Did an editorial on it. And it was the one where she was running around with a knife and they were yelling, drop the knife, drop the knife, drop the knife, drop the knife, drop the knife. And then she went to stab a girl in pink. Remember, she was going to stab her in the jugular. And the Ohio police officer fired. Ma'Khia Bryant unfortunately succumbed to her, the shooting. But the thing is, it's a sad, tragic event for everybody involved, including Ma'Khia Bryant. But she put that police officer in that position. He had a choice to make. In this one, I backed the police officer because he had a choice to make. Let her stab the girl in the throat and go, well, I don't want to shoot a black girl. Or shoot her and save the other girl's life. He chose the latter. He shot her and saved the other girl's life.
Body camera video shows the girl had a knife at the time of the shooting and was attacking another black person.
Officer Reardon in Columbus, Ohio, like I said, he was put in an awful, terrible situation, and it's tragic what happened, but that doesn't mean it's not justified. Most people in this country don't know what it's like to be a police officer. They don't know what it's like to be in a stressful situation like that. That officer in Columbus, Ohio, he was forced to make a terrible choice, but he did his duty that day. He did the right thing, and he should have been commended and not crucified by people like LeBron James.
So then LeBron James puts up a picture of this cop with the caption, "You're next." Next to what? Receive a medal? Receive an honor? No, LeBron James is an idiot. I'm sorry. In my humble opinion, what you did makes you an idiot. This cop, Nate Sylvester, who I support, made a kind of a humorous video about it. But he's making a serious, unfunny point. Okay, now the video in itself is a little humorous. I chuckled a little when I saw it. But underneath that humor is a very serious point that what do? Because we don't want black people to get shot by police, do we just let them kill each other?
Sylvester says he made this video after the Lakers star tweeted the words, "You're next," with the hashtag accountability. This after a white police officer shot and killed a black 16-year-old girl in Columbus, Ohio.
Now, I'm not talking about somebody that's unarmed or a cop that just gets scared and poops his pants and pulls his gun and fires. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm not talking about Andre Hill, who had a cell phone in his hand, or Stephen Clark. I think I'm going to get the name wrong, but out of Sacramento, his name was Stephen, who had his back turned with a cell phone in his hand, and the cop yelled, "Gun, drop it," and then shot him in the back with the cell phone in his hand. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about a girl that had a knife, long, silver, and was going to stab a girl in the jugular, and he saved that girl's life. But then, this mayor and them are like, "Oh, no, you can't do that." Or are some of you going to back the mayor and them and say, you know what? He was on duty. He was in uniform. It was city time.
In a statement to KTVB, the executive director for the Wasmuth Center for Human Rights said, "While we could and should discuss intent, it is disturbing that the choice was to mock injustice. This is not a time for laughter. This is time for serious conversation." Etched in the stone of the Idaho Anne Frank Human Rights Memorial, Eleanor Roosevelt reminds us, we have to face the fact that either all of us are going to die together or we are going to learn to live together. And if we are to live together, we have to talk. My preference would be that civility and compassion goes viral.
I feel as though we have a responsibility to speak out against stuff like that. because I guess somebody has to be the voice for law enforcement. We don't necessarily have a voice.
It's Monday. I ain't had my coffee yet, but I do want to hear from all of you in the comment section below about what you've heard today in this editorial story. Thank you for watching Community Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers, to include those that address stupid posts by LeBron James. And from coast to coast.